Well, good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, half a minute early to make up for being late last night. Patricia and David with you on this very damp evening here at Gulf Harbour. It's raining. The barometer is 1020.6. We did get up to 17 degrees, but it is 15 now and likely to drop more. 100% cloud cover, of course. So it's still very light winds, 7 knots from the north-northeast. I'm going to change things a little bit tonight because we have Iron Maiden with a bit of a mechanical issue. So I'm going to take boats first and then do a bit of news from around the world after that. So we'll keep it short and go immediately to Iron Maiden, Gulf Harbour.
Good evening, Gulf Harbour. This is Iron Maiden. Do you copy? Over.
Yeah, I've got good copy on you, actually, Margaret. It was a bit noisy on the band when I first turned on, but it's quite decent now, and you're coming through very clearly. Go ahead.
We are currently at 29 degrees 03 minutes south, 171 degrees 16 minutes east. We are currently bobbing in the water with no wind at the moment, and hoping for a little bit more wind overnight. We've got a 90% cloud cover, flat seas, and the barometer is 1016 over.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look at your picture. I don't know whether you've got solar panel or wind generator. What is the issue with the shaft? Over?
Joint from the gearbox to the pump shaft has cracked. Over.
Oh, bother. Yes, I'm sure your crew had stronger words than that. Okay, we have 2903 south, 17116 east, and no wind at the moment. They're bobbing around, 90% cloud cover. Flat seas 1016. I'll just pass the microphone to see if David's wound up the crystal ball.
Oh boy, yeah, you didn't get far, that's for sure. Just barely a degree. So tomorrow it looks like about 14 to 15 knots out of the northwest, and that wind is wind that's feeding the trough, or I guess it would be a cold front. There it's still a cold front, even though you're all the way up that far north. But anyway, that's approaching, and like I say, winds 14, 15, 16. You'll be able to sail, I would assume, on that. And depending upon where you go, I'm trying to see what's going to happen. So essentially, the frontal band, well, it's a very complicated system. The frontal band actually develops within the band itself a cyclonic circulation, so we almost have a very tiny little low that forms over Norfolk Island, and therefore the winds about where you're going to be tomorrow will probably, the next day I meant, are probably going to be out of the north. So this is Monday I'm talking about now. So we've got a tiny little low that's just to your west on Monday, causing the winds to basically come from a northern quadrant, and you're going to have a fair amount of showers in this. So that is Monday, and then looking at Tuesday, the system, well, it doesn't disappear, but it moves very rapidly to the east, and that little low that I talked about is gone. It gets absorbed by a high that builds up in the northern Tasman. It's a weak high, it's about 1022, and you will have at that point winds out of the south. So I'm sure you'll appreciate that. So that's Tuesday morning, maybe even a little bit earlier. It might even be late Monday night, but certainly into Tuesday, the winds will shift out of the south. So that it will be much better for you, I'm sure, with the shaft the way it is. And then just taking a look at what happens on Wednesday, virtually the same thing as you work your way north toward Vanuatu. Don't know exactly what latitude that you will be, but I think you could be looking at southeast winds, maybe even southeast winds on Wednesday. Fairly light, but enough to sail with, that's for sure. So, apart from this little wrinkle that's going to happen on Monday, things will improve Tuesday and Wednesday for you. So, that's what it looks like now. Over.
Thanks very much for that, David. Yeah, I think we'll be able to get all the way to Port Vila on the Swift system, over.
On when?
Yeah, it looks pretty good actually, apart from just don't lose faith when you have that little glitch on Monday, because it won't last long. He didn't say when the wind would pick up tonight though. I'll get him on the job here just to see whether you're going to bob around all night or whether you might have a bit of hope there sometime later tonight. Just stand by.
Be about 12 knots out of the north-northwest.
When?
Tonight, midnight.
Oh, he reckons about 12 knots about midnight. So whenever your change of shift is, there you go. 12 knots from the north. What did you say? West.
North to north-northwest.
North to north-northwest. So that will be quite good. Give people something to do, and then go back to sleep. All right, Margaret. We'll talk to you guys again tomorrow night. Over.
Appreciate that, Patricia and David. We'll listen to you through the podcast and talk to you tomorrow.
Roger that. Okay, let's go now to cables length 2. Cables length 2 with the group heading north.
Cables length 2 receiving, Patricia.
Yep, good signal from you too, Ian. Hello, on board, and go ahead.
Yes, our position is 23 degrees 46 south, 176 degrees 50 east. We're currently on a course at 20 degrees 2, speed around 8 knots, wind 16 knots out in the southeast. We've got about 100% cloud cover with a barometer of 1015, over.
Well, you guys certainly doing rather well. Cables length 2 is rocketing along there. So Ian and Suzanne are looking good. 2346 south, 17650 east on a course of 020 true, 8 knots, 16 knots of southeast, 100% cloud cover, and 1015. Sounds all good. Hope it stays that way. Over.
Yes, we hope so too, Patricia.
And yeah, David doesn't have much to add, or does he? He wants the microphone.
Not much to add. Looks like about 12 to 16, but I think the wind is going to back a little bit. It looks like coming out of the east tomorrow. I'm looking at lunchtime, Sunday, and yep, to me it looks like east. Yep. So anyway, that should be a very good direction for you. See if you could beat that 8 knots. That's fantastic. I wish we could go that fast. Well, we do sometimes, downhill. Here's the chief.
Yeah, you're certainly getting some good speeds. I was watching today on the AIS as you were passing through different points there. All right, well, have a good night, you guys, and we'll talk again tomorrow. Over. Okay, let's see if we've actually got Kazoo on frequency tonight. Kazoo, Gulf Harbour. Well, I better send them off an email because there must be some problem with communication systems, but they certainly are going okay. I will go back to the old AIS here because they have got a position here. Let me just see. they are at, and this was 2 minutes ago, so hopefully it's correct. They were doing 6.4 knots, and their position was 2625. Just looking at what it was yesterday. Oh, I didn't write it down. 2625, and longitude is 17942 east. So they're on a course of 035. So I'll get on the job there and just see what's going on. But they are pretty much keeping pace with the other boats. They're second behind Release, and then behind them is a boat called Vitality, and further back Amici, and further back still Kalika. So we'll see what's happened to their radio system. Okay, I wonder if Bellina's on frequency to tell us what the weather's like at Beveridge Reef. Are you there, Benno? Over.
Yeah, good Harbour Radio. This is Bellina. How copy?
Yeah, nice copy as usual, Benno. Hi to Marlene. And what did you get up to today?
Yeah, good evening. Weather fine here. We have 18 to 20 knots from south-southwest and 24 degrees. 50% cloud cover at the moment and 101 millibars. Yeah, all ready on board nice snorkeling here in our reef. The other boats left, that we are alone in our reef. Over.
Okay, Beveridge Reef has had 18 to 20 south-southwest, and it's 24 degrees, which it's a nice temperature. 50% cloud cover. So any comments for tomorrow?
I think south-southeast tomorrow.
Yeah, David reckons south-southeast tomorrow, but I don't suppose that will affect you too much. So about what speed are we looking at?
About 20.
Ooh, up to 20. Okay, oh well. But you've got a good protected anchorage, so that should be okay. Benno, over.
Yes, this is here. We are entering in the southern part of the sun shelf here on 2 meters, 2.5 meters, perfect wind area, a really large area, and well protected behind the reef. Over.
Oh, that's good. All right, well, enjoy it in your solitude there. It's sort of quite nice, isn't it, to have the place to yourself? All right, well, clear with you. I'll just give everyone a bit of news from Pogean, because they're going up the Tongan chain to Vavau, and they today drifted past about midday the island of Tofua, and he sent the drone up. Very, very brave, because it's there's a crater lake at the top, so he wanted to explore the source of the smoke, and found that there is a tiny caldera within the caldera. So great pictures from Pogean. They're currently about 10 miles northeast of Kao, and that's at 1930 south, 17453 west. And they have 21 knots of southerly, 1.5 metre swell, 20% cloud cover, just broken cumulus, 1013, and no rain. So for those others on that trip, that's looking pretty good. And Whitehawk have got a report from the south coast of Viti Levu. They did just a trip from Yanaka to Bekwa to Yanaka again today, and got to mostly 14 to 22 knots from the east or east-southeast, 80% cloud cover, and 1014. And are probably at the moment enjoying the freshly caught mahi-mahi, although it sounds like the net still got crayfish left over from Minerva. Okay, a little bit, I'll call for anybody else shortly, but I just thought you would like a little bit of news. The inter-island ferry, for those here that are going from north to south and back again between the islands, know that the ferries are getting a bit ancient. And unfortunately, the Awatiri hit land last night at 10 p.m. on the way to Picton, which really goes to show that anybody can make navigational errors. The experts are now considering how to get it off. Now, it was a steering failure. Actually, it wasn't really a navigational problem, but a steering failure, although one wonders why the anchors couldn't get down. Anyway, so that's all of interest there. But of even more interest is that on the coast of Israel, about 90 k's off the coast actually, there was a gas company trying to find natural gas way down, and they found a Bronze Age ship. Absolutely amazing. That's 3,300 years old. 3,300 years old. During their drilling operation, looking for the natural gas, they're not going to retrieve the ship, wooden of course, but they are going to get a couple of the vessels. Maybe they're looking for wine, but it could be anything. Could be wine or fuel of some sort or whatever. So that was pretty interesting. It's one of the oldest ships ever found, and certainly a long way off, which has made them rethink their ideas of what people managed to do exploring wise way back 3,300 years ago. Mind you, they could have just been hit by a storm and taken out 90 k's. Who knows? And the other bit of news is particularly for the Americans. There is the first Biden-Trump debate, CNN debate, 9 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday, and by my calculations that is 1 p.m. on our Friday, so quite a civilized time for anybody wanting to watch that. It's absolutely stunning. It really makes you wonder about people. But last month, evidently, Trump raked in more than $60 million. This is more than Biden got, and that's despite his guilty felony charges, all 23 of them.
Crime pays.
But crime pays, says David. 60 million more. It's really hard to believe the numbers. It's, Americans really do have too much money. Perhaps they could send some over here for our health system and roads and things like that. But anyway, that's what's happening on Friday, our time. That's about it for the news that I've got. Has anybody out there got anything of interest for us to share with you all? This is Gulf Harbour Radio listening. Well, nothing heard. What a boring lot out there. Okay, we'll leave you to what sounds like much better weather than what we have here. So have a good night, everybody, and stay safe, and we'll be back again tomorrow. Not sure what we're going to get up to, because this frontal system that we've got over us is going to hang around pretty much all day. So it's going to be a brave person that ventures to do outside things, but we'll wait and see. Cheers, everybody. The frequency's all yours if you want it.